Hello fellow readers, I'm Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be wrapping up my thoughts on Love on the Brain and then also kicking off a little fun meetup and activity later on in the vlog. So that being said, let's get started. So like I mentioned, basically this entire video is just for reading this book. This was like one of my most anticipated books of the year. I read The Love Hypothesis last year and absolutely loved it, and so I was so excited for this. I've been reading like all the little like STEMness novellas in between while waiting for this, and so I have been building this up for like the past year. And I was so excited for this. This book is all about our two main characters. There is Bee and Levi. And Bee and Levi used to know each other like back in graduate school. And things were a little bit off. And now she has been offered a position for a program at NASA. And unfortunately, her co-lead is this guy that she did not get along with back in graduate school. So they have to figure out how to deal with each other, how to like make things work in the workplace and all that stuff. However, things still seem to be coming off as he doesn't like her. And so she is still struggling with that in current day, and things just like keep going wrong, and she's like, you're trying to purposely exclude me. However, as we know, this is a romance. Things are going to get repaired and they are going to end up together. It's inevitable. This past year, I was watching one of my friends on BookTube, Kara's Bookshelf. I'll leave her link down below. But I was watching her read and review this book, and she was like, wait, I actually loved this book. And so I like pitched it to her. I was like, well, if you loved this book, why don't we try reading this one together once it comes out? And so luckily I've been able to read this with her, and we are actually doing a whole little meetup. We are going to do like brunch and probably like book shopping or like book something afterwards. And so I am so excited to be able to discuss this with her. We've been messaging about it a bit on Instagram beforehand, but I'm happy to just like sit down and like talk through all of our thoughts and everything and just like get to hang out together. As I'm talking about meeting up with Kara this weekend for discussing that book, I thought I would show you guys a little sneak peek of what I'm giving her. So I'm just like really excited, and I am a huge like gift giver, and so I put together a bit of a bag for her, quite full. So I wanted to show you guys a little sneak peek of what's in here, as well as like why I was going to give it to her. First things first, I got her 2 books from her like Amazon wish list. I already owned this one, and so I actually haven't read it yet, but I saw this and I was like, well, I can get it for her, and then we can like, I don't know, read together part 2 or something like that. And then I did get the second book as well, which was on her list, and I did get myself a copy of this one as well, just since I was ordering it anyways, you know? So these are the like, you know, main part of the gift, like the books and everything that I'm giving her, and I'm very excited that, you know, it's something that I was also interested in, so maybe it's something we can bond over as well. Next thing, so in her videos, I keep seeing that she keeps like putting her books in her bag, like with like a water bottle or like whatever other drink she has, and then they keep spilling and getting all over the books. So not a perfect solution, but I thought I could give her some like book covers to maybe help with that situation. I have a wide variety here. Another thing, I know that earlier this year she got like a Kindle as well, and she's been reading a lot on there. So I have this like cute little like basically pop socket, but like it's a little bit bigger and like thicker for you to hold like your Kindle on it. So I have this that I'm gonna give her as well. It's just super cute. It has like a little moon and cloud on it, and it says, "Never again would I be content to remain in the shadows." And I just thought this was super cute, and since she's been loving reading on her Kindle, it seems like a good gift. She's also recently started reading like the Throne of Glass series and like getting into that like fantasy and stuff, like Sarah J. Maas and everything. So I do have like a cute little cup and saucer here for her. I just think it's so cute. Kind of similar to that, but a thicker version of that. I also have this Unseelie Court mug that I thought would be fun to give her as well. Just a little bit different vibes. This one's like, you know, a nice thick mug versus the other one is more dainty for tea and stuff like that. So a good little variety. The last couple of things that I have are a couple of these like dagger bookmarks. This one right here is from Throne of Glass. So like I mentioned, she's recently gotten into that. So I thought this would be like an appropriate little bookmark gift for her. And then this one is actually from Kingdom of the Cursed, hence one of the books that I got her. So I was thinking this would also be a fun little gift for her. Obviously, we have all of that stuff in a bag. So this is just a super cute, like, bookshelf bag. Will be perfect for carrying like your books or book shopping, all that fun stuff. And it has so many good like titles on here, like From Blood and Ash, Lore, Shatter Me, Daughter of the Moon Goddess, Jade of Fire and Gold, like so many different good books on here. So I thought this was super cute as well. And then it's going to hold all of it, so it's perfect. So those are all my updates at this time. When I give her this gift and when we're meeting up and everything, I will definitely take some footage so you guys can see it as well. All right, so I will see you guys then. Fellow readers, I'm Stephanie and I am here with Kara.
Hello!
I am so excited. We both read The Love Hypothesis together.
Love on the brain.
We've both been doing this all day. I know. On the brain. So we read this, went to brunch, had a great time. Food was delicious.
So good.
So I had a great time. And now we're just chatting about the book.
Yeah.
So we did do a little bit of like an overview over on your channel. Mm-hmm. So I will leave her link down below and like insert a card. So if you're interested in seeing that discussion, then go check that out. And she also has like a whole like vlog beforehand, so you get to see a little bit more about her. She's amazing. Go check her out anyways.
So sweet.
So you know, definitely subscribe to her because I'm obsessed. Anyways, but back to this. Here we decide that we are going to do like a little bit of a pros and cons list.
Yes.
And really kind of like thinking about it in terms of love hypothesis as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, do we want to start with the pros?
Yeah, let's start with the pros. I feel like
the
we had a lot of positives.
Yes.
One of our favorite things about this was that there was a huge conversation about sexism in STEM. Like I feel like having gone through a little bit of grad school and having kind of seen some of that, it is a very, very male-dominated field where, like, men make a lot of the decisions, and Ali Hazelwood really made that known and very well fleshed out in this book. Mm-hmm. I felt like, yeah, she was calling men out left and right for it. And it was, I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Because I think it is definitely something that's actually very prevalent in the field. Mm-hmm. And she definitely made that known. Another big conversation in this book is about like the GRE and standardized testing to get into grad school. And there was a huge conversation about this.
Yeah. One of the ways that they actually communicate most about that is like through like Twitter and like her online profile. And it really brought up just like the whole discussion about,
privileges and like who has the money to be able to spend to like study for this test and keep taking it over and over.
Yes.
I know like in my experience I had to like take a test to get certified too, and like it really does add up quickly when you have to keep taking the exams. So like I can understand and like I can imagine like if you don't have the resources to be able to do that, then like there is a disproportionate amount of people getting into graduate programs that maybe, you know,
and it's all of these like hidden fees too. Like I legit had to take the GRE, and you have to pay to send, like, not only do you have to pay to take the test, but you have to pay to send it to your scores to these schools. And so it's just like, and then you have to pay to like get prep books and stuff like that. And it's just this big like capitalistic you know, experience that you have to go through if you want to end up going into grad school, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, Ali Hazelwood like very much had a conversation about this, and I really liked that because I felt like she's talking about STEM in so many different avenues through both this book and The Love Hypothesis. Really, really enjoyed that aspect about it. And I like how she just makes women in STEM so prevalent.
Yes. So I 100%, if she keeps writing women in science, I will be reading it.
Absolutely.
I'm here for it.
Absolutely. Also, this book is like centered around NASA too.
Oh, yes.
Love space.
Love space. Period. End of sentence.
Yes.
That was the entire bullet point.
Yeah, I know.
Love space.
So I feel like another thing that we really both appreciated about this is that B, our main character, she's like a very more non-traditional main character. She has piercings, she has tattoos, she has purple colored hair. She's just an individual who expresses herself a lot more on the outside than I feel like literally 90% of other main characters do in books. And I really appreciated that. Also, they're both vegan.
They are.
Yeah. And that was something that was talked about quite a bit throughout the book, but it wasn't like a pushing in your face type of thing, you know? Yeah, I really appreciated that. So
yeah, speaking more about the characters too, one of the specific things I remember is like there is this discussion about you know, the outside of someone versus the inside, and how like maybe someone can come off so confident but on the inside feeling like really insecure, which I think goes hand in hand with like kind of being imposter syndrome, like in a field that is male dominated, like kind of stuff like that. But it's definitely prevalent in like everyday lives with like people like me who aren't in STEM too. So it was just like nice to see that discussion as well.
Absolutely. And I feel like even just in the characters themselves, like Levi was not the kind of guy who led with his emotions. He like shows more than he tells. And I feel like B totally misinterpreted a lot of his signals a lot of the time, which led to her thinking that she thought that he hated her the whole book. And she just, that was one of our cons, is that she literally continuously was like, he is my mortal enemy, he is my arch nemesis, like he hates me, he does everything he can to try and make my life miserable. But that was literally not the case. And like I felt like that, I guess that one was one of our cons, is that the trope was not very well done, we thought. Like
I thought clearly this was like the fake dating like kind of trope, and I thought this one was trying to be like enemies to lovers. Yeah. But like it was so poorly done. She just tells that he hates me, he hates me, but it's never actually shown. Yeah. And so like you don't feel that at all, and then it just gets annoying that she keeps saying it over and over and over. Exactly.
And I feel like kind of going off of that, the situations, this is a pro. The situations that she put these characters in were a lot more realistic than the situations that she put the characters in The Love Hypothesis. Like, there are a few scenes in The Love Hypothesis that are just absolute peak cringe, and you're just like, this would never happen, and if it did, this is not how someone would act if this was a situation they were put in. But the situations that she put Levi and B in the Love on the Brain were a lot more realistic, and like you can actually realistically see those playing out.
Which I think goes to like one of our other positives is like we actually had like a lot of backstory from like some of these characters, and like some of them are like pretty emotionally like, you know, driven, and so it just like, you know, creates a well-rounded character, like makes you care about them
100%,
like puts them in more realistic situations because like you are being real with us.
I feel like Ali Hazelwood definitely like I feel like the supporting like situations and supporting plot to this book is a lot better than the Love Hypothesis was, but the Love Hypothesis had the better trope. Like, the trope was just done way better.
Yeah.
So if we could just combine the two, I feel like we'd have the perfect romance.
You know, there's always a third. Going along with that, like, typically I feel like one of the most hated things in the third act is, like, the third act miscommunication, like, trope, and where, like, they just make some big lame excuse for breaking up at the end. But, like, what the third thing, like, act thing that happened in this actually seemed, like, real for the character, and so I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. I felt like it flowed a lot better too, you know, and it wasn't just like, ugh, we have to like put them in this, you know, terrible miscommunication situation in order for the romance to resolve at the end. But I thought it was actually really well done in that sense too. Another thing we really liked as well is that there is a side romance going on, and we loved that. It is a queer side romance. It's also another enemies to lovers kind of situation, and it was just a bunch of representation again. The side romance was honestly great, and I was rooting for them the whole time. So. Yeah.
I feel like at one point I definitely cared more about the side romance than the main one. I was like, I would die for you.
Yeah. I know, like, the side romance characters were amazing, and they honestly were just, like, they were great characters, too. It wasn't just, like, oh, we're just, like, putting in this little sidekick best friend. It was, like, they have real personality and real, like, just gumption to them. I really enjoyed that.
So I think that was most of our pros.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's more, but, like, that's what we could come up on the spot in
Yeah.
this card. So I guess let's move to cons.
Yeah.
And I think the one that we kind of already alluded to was that we were so annoyed that, like, for the first half of this book, like, literally 50%, it was, like, nonstop every 2 pages. Like, our main character was saying, he hates me. He hates me. And like I mentioned, like, they really did, like, a telling, not showing.
Yes.
So it was just, like, hard to read for the first half.
Yeah, and like Steph is saying, it literally went through like 50 to 60% of the book is her just thinking that he hated her the whole time, and it was clearly not the situation. Like, if you just maybe looked at it a little bit differently, you would have thought otherwise. And kind of going off of that too, our main character has a very well-known Twitter, and it comes up within like the first few pages, so this is not a spoiler, but like the whole conversation surrounding this Twitter, there is not really anything left to the imagination and for the situation that she is in. It's basically she's having like this online conversation with someone else who's like pretty high up in like the Twitter STEM world. And it's really, really obvious. Like, and it keeps coming up throughout the entirety of the book, and you're just like, this is not something that you are left wondering what is going on here.
Speaking of another thing that just, like, kind of came out of nowhere,
yes,
the ending. And, like, this will be no spoilers, but, like, the ending just felt like the author was trying to go for, like, a different genre.
Yes.
And, like, just really randomly put it in here.
Yeah.
And it just felt out of place.
Very out of place. I felt like I was reading it and I was just like,
did that just happen?
Yeah. It's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, that really knocked it down for me. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think, for me at least, that impacted my, like, rating of the book very much. It just was what it was, but it did seem odd. Yeah. The thing that definitely impacted my rating the most is the saying hate every 2 pages.
Yes,
Could not
definitely.
But then, at least once we got past that point, I actually started enjoying the book.
Yeah. I felt like...
So it's not that it was bad.
Yeah.
It does get better as it goes along.
I felt like 60% was the point where you couldn't stop reading.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that's too long to get into a book. If I have to be through at 60%, I'm like, I probably already have de-enoughed it at that point. But, yeah, I feel like those were the cons. Yeah. Not a lot of cons.
Yeah.
But pretty significant, I'd say. Yeah.
I don't know if we mentioned either, but, like, if you a pro or con, I guess, of depending on what your preference is, this one has a lot more steam than this one.
Yes.
So depending on your preferences, that could be pro or con.
Yeah.
We'll put in the pro column, though.
Yeah, we'll take the pros. That was pretty good.
All right. Well, I think that was all of our wrap up for this.
Yeah.
However, we are about to go book shopping in, like, a cute little store in Minneapolis. I haven't been there yet, and so she is introducing me to it.
Yes!
I'm very excited. So we'll see how much money I spend.
It's great. It's an amazing bookstore, so cannot wait to bring you along.
All right. Well, we will see you there.
Bye!
Left the bookstore. Look at how cute this bag is that I got. That's
So
the place we went.
cute.
So that's the place we went. So cute. And we got way too many books. So to start out with, we actually both got this book. I told her about it and she was like, this is intriguing. So
Yes.
let's go.
Yes.
So now we have like 3 books to buddy read at least.
Basically, it sounds like this is a book where all men get a virus and then they all die, and that's the book. That's the book.
The next one I got was this. Obviously, it's been all over, and I just haven't read it yet. She actually was like, yes, get it.
It's
it's
incredible.
Here I am. It was only like $8. I'm like, well, twist my arm.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And speaking of, I got the second one. I read Amori last year, and I loved it. It's such a good book. It's basically about this, like, young girl who, she goes to, like, a magical school, and honestly, I can't remember the entirety of the plot, but all I know is, like, they go to a magical school, and it was a really, really great book.
Yeah. So I'm excited to try this and excited to see what you think of the second book, too. All right. The next 2 books I got were just some romances that I am excited for like, October, like, spooky season. So we have Go Hex Yourself, which looks like it's just, like, a cute, witchy rom-com kind of book, and I'm here for it. And then also A League of Gentlewomen Witches. And this one, it's, like, the second book in the series, and like it's just kind of like old-timey and like badass woman, and like that's pretty much all I need to know. So yeah, got both of these.
Badass women, that is what we're talking about. That is the theme of our book haul today.
Yes.
This one, Steph, influenced me. The Change by Kirsten Miller. It sounds so good. Basically, it just sounded like it's about women who get like magical powers or something, and like they get, like, ghosts speak to them, and then something about men dying.
There's, like, revenge plot. There are plenty of morally great characters. Like, it is 20 out of 10. I love this book.
I am so excited. She has totally hyped this up, so I think it's going to be a really, really great read.
The next one I got, More Witches. Coven. This is, like, a graphic novel fully in color, and so I am just so excited. I really don't know much about this, but like it looks stunning, so I'm sold.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the art in there looks beautiful. Like so
I love that it's like
pretty.
Fully colored too. I feel like it's not often that you have a fully colored like graphic novel.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. And then my last book is My Year of Rest and Relaxation, because this is my vibe. I'm so excited about this. Basically, it just sounds like this woman who's like, all I want to do is sleep for a year, and then that's the book. And I've been wanting to read this book for so long. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Yeah, so the theme of this book haul is badass women.
Yes.
And yeah, that's the vibe.
My last book is Tender as the Flesh. Again, just trying to get into these spooky season vibes. This is all about like cannibalism. Like the world has run out of other meat to eat, and so they just start eating people. Sounds
it.
great. I feel like everyone that I've heard has loved this book, and so I'm just excited to read it.
I know, it sounds so interesting.
I'm ready to be grossed out.
Yeah.
Like, catch me in the back, like. But we'll see. It's a pretty
So
short
good.
book, so hopefully I can get to it this month.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
All
That
right.
is the cover's beautiful.
That was the haul.
Yes.
I think I'm going to end the vlog here, just because that's the end of our day. So thank you again for hanging out, and I had such a fun time both reading the book, discussing it, getting brunch, which was delicious, and also you showing me a new bookstore that I'm absolutely obsessed with now. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. I love you. You're great.
I'm so excited. And as I mentioned before, I will leave all of her links down below and the link to her video for you to check out as well.
I am so excited to be here. We had just the best day ever. I had so much fun, and thank you so much for all of those cute little gifts. I love it. Thank you so much. We had the best day. This has just been us living our best life,
Yes.
and I'm just so happy.
Key lesson for having your best day ever, just brunch and books.
Brunch and books.
Done.
It's great.
All right, well, thank you all for watching. Please, if you like this video, like and subscribe down below, and go and check her out, like and subscribe her video as well. And until next time, keep reading. Bye.